Assalamualaikum and very warm welcome to everyone who is joining us today. This is your host Tasbiha Fazal and I am truly delighted to welcome you all. Another powerful and exciting episode of DSG Webinar Series Season 5.0 Episode 18, proudly brought to you by DSG Energy, your trusted partner in clean, green and sustainable energy solution. So, viewers, as everyone know that DSG Energy is always here to bring you an inspiring conversation and thought-provoking ideas and experts insight for you. That's definitely highlight the latest innovations and the development that shapes our cleaner and greener future for a more sustainable future for other generations to come. So, for that, according to these. For today, we are really exciting and a tech-focused session for all of you. A discussion on the future of transportation where solar power meets e-mobility. So in this session, we will explore that how solar energy and electrical mobility are coming together to transform the way we move, and definitely these combinations are creating a sustainable and a zero emission solution that definitely benefit our environment and our communities as well. So from solar powered EV charging to innovation solar carport, we will discuss technology and the environmental impacts and the practical benefits of these integration for cities, businesses, and individuals alike. So to discuss this topic, I am honored to introduce our esteemed guest. Dr. Muhammad Wasim Tahir is with us. So, Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Tasbih.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Dr. Muhammad Wasim Tahir, he is an assistant professor, Department of Chemical Engineering at UET Lahore. Sir, to connect our audience more deeply with this conversation, could you please describe yourself on your own words?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Tasbih, for having me here. Actually, I joined UET around 9 years before, so I have almost 9 years experience of teaching plus research. So I have done my PhD from Germany, University of Stuttgart. So basically, my research work was, focused towards electric vehicle thermal modeling of the battery packs, because electric vehicles, lithium-ion batteries are a little bit risky, sometimes. So it has to be operated within a certain temperature range. So I worked on the modeling and simulation of these battery packs. So that was my PhD research. After that, after joining UET, I have done also my master students and PhD students. We are working modeling and simulation of lithium and batteries, energy, fuel cells, and different aspects. So this is the main focus of my research. So now I'm open to your questions. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. So, sir, my first question for you is, in your perspective, how do you see that the future of transportation is changing with electrical vehicles, EVs? And do you think that EVs alone are enough, or solar energy is necessary to make these transportation truly sustainable?
Yes, for sure. I think there's no question about that. EV जो है, that is the future of the transportation. E-mobility जो है, that would support our environment and society. So first of all, EVs are आपको पता है कि mostly dependent on the electric power for charging EVs. So in countries like Pakistan, so we have a very high cost of charging due to the this grid cost, because it's a higher cost. So solar energy could very effectively be used for charging, but there are certain limitations in that also, because number one, solar energy, for solar energy, we need a lot of area, surface area, large space for the to bring about this charging of the EVs. So other alternate could be for the EVs, we can use solar power in other ways. For example, in the fuel cell powered electric vehicles, or for example, hydrogen combustion engines. So because fuel cell powered electric vehicles are also in use in the most of the advanced countries like Europe. So in that we have hydrogen storage on board of the electric vehicles, and this hydrogen is then used as a fuel in the fuel cells. So that is number one. This provide us a lot of power density, energy density, which is a large limitation in the battery powered electric vehicles, because lithium ion batteries are mostly used to power the electric vehicles nowadays. But there is now a bottleneck, in the sense that energy and power density we reach almost at the peak. So after that we are now not moving forward. So as you add more batteries on the vehicle to get more power, so batteries would add more weight to the vehicle, and this needs more power. So this becomes, it's like a vicious cycle. So we need to produce lightweight new materials which are to produce more power per unit mass of the battery. And regarding this e-mobility, so if we use solar power to produce hydrogen, for example, in the water splitting, that is very effective way, and this hydrogen could be used in the fuel cell powered electric vehicles, and also for the other purposes also. Regarding internal combustion engines also, we have very active research going on to produce the combustion engines which use hydrogen instead of gasoline. So if such engines produce only water without any carbon emissions associated with that, so there are certain limitations in that. Regarding, for example, if specifically we talk about Pakistan, we have a biggest problem in the one is electric cost of the electricity, electric power, and other is the affordability for the people also. But if government, for example, I give you an example for the e-scooty. Now it is very becoming very popular very fast, because of the reason behind is that government is giving attention to this, a lot of support in that. So if this is like on the large scale for the electric vehicles, so this could also be the case. And right now we have instead of fully electric vehicles, I think hybrid vehicles could be the option, which could significantly reduce the carbon emissions also, and we can gradually then move to the fully electric vehicles.
Yes, absolutely sir, and I complete agree कि EVs एक बहुत बड़ा step forward है for हमारे future के लिए, और these integration जो combination है ये definitely एक picture को complete कर रहा है, और ये these kind of synergy is definitely what the future of transportation makes so promising. So sir, my next question is कि आपको क्या लगता है कि कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है कनेक्ट करना सोलर पावर को विद ईवी चार्जिंग इंस्टेड ऑफ हम यूज करें नॉर्मल रेगुलर ग्रिड इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, और जो सोलर पावर्ड ईवीज हैं क्या वो रियली वाकई क्रिएट करेंगे जीरो इमिशन इम्पैक्ट ऑन आवर एनवायरनमेंट?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Actually, if we talk about, for example, Pakistan and also for other countries which use the grid for the to charge their electric vehicles, so this is in a sense this is not truly zero emissions, because electric power generation also associate with the certain emissions. For example, हमारे आप देखें पाकिस्तान में there are many coal powered plants, so they produce a lot of emissions also. So if we take electricity from these plants, for example, so this is not green in a true sense, because although we are using the charging from electricity, and the electric car is not producing direct emissions, but the electric power which we have used for the charging, this is associated with a lot of pollutants. So in a true sense, as your question is, in a true sense, to go green, I think we need to produce we need to totally integrate this power generation also. It should be green. For that, obviously solar power generation is the key to that, because if on the grid scale we produce electric power, and then could be used for the charging of the electric vehicles, then we can say that this is totally green, and that would definitely impact the environment.
Okay, so that's great point. So sir, from your perspective, अगर हम financial perspective की बात करें तो solar powered EV charging जो है एक long term investment है. So how आपको क्या लगता है कि governments और private sectors को किस तरह से इस पे काम करना चाहिए कि वो promote कर सके solar और e-mobility दोनों को? और what do you think कि जो ये integration है ये new business opportunities या job opportunities किस तरह से create कर रही है?
I think this is very good opportunity for everyone. But for that, the first step in that is the initiative on a large scale. For example, on the government side, there should be policy and there should be like tax regulation so that private sector encouraged to join this because actually there is a lot of bottlenecks and hurdles in that because the biggest one is the upfront cost. For example, if you want to establish a solar powered charging station, so you need a lot of equipment cost, for example chargers, batteries and all other things. Then other than that, we need the solar panels, solar arrays over the large area. So there are many. I think private sector would be very happy to join, but that would create a lot of jobs. But for that, they need certain kind of assurity from the government side that that initiative would go on. For example, the best example is the solar usage of solar panels in the domestic case in Pakistan, for example. It's you can see it's especially in the large cities that is going wild. For example, people are using these solar panels on a large scale, and the reason behind that there is some support from the government side also, and there are some people are investing in that. For example, private companies. So this is we need to take similar steps to bring this. To the electric vehicle side also.
Yes, definitely. So, sir, in your perspective, how do you think that how impactful the solar carports are? We often listen to the term solar carports. So, what do you think that how important it is to promoting a clean transportation? And do you think a solar carport can turn a simple parking space into the energy generating hub?
Yes. Tasbiya, I think I would disagree in that because there's a big limitation in, for example, in large cities. Cities like Lahore, we need for the solar car parkings or carports, we need open car parkings. For example, as you know, also in Lahore, we don't have much open site parking. So, and the other thing is that the culture of parking, people should go and park. Our people, unfortunately, still, they don't have such. People need to be educated also, and then we need to make such carports, for example, on the large open spaces where we can have enough solar energy, because this is a biggest limitation in the solar energy, because we need a lot of surface area, for example, but we need to produce also new materials which can produce per unit area the electric current density per unit area should be high enough so that we can use smaller panels to produce more current. Obviously, over the years, it has improved, but still, it needs a lot of improvement. And we mostly at the time we use underground parkings or you can in the Lahore. So I think this needs to be a little bit difficult in my view.
Okay, sir. Okay. So, sir, how do you see the solar and e-mobility helping us to moving towards a greener and cleaner future? And from your experience, what environmental differences can integrate that make us in a past 10 years and
Yes,
future?
definitely. Yes, actually, if you see, as I have lived in Europe and Germany, so there I have seen, although internal combustion engines people are using, so they are also having, very clean exhaust because of the quality of the technology they use in the like catalytic converters and other things. And in that also they have developed, zero emission areas zero emission areas where these internal combustion engines vehicles cannot enter. There could be only the zero emission vehicles can enter into that areas. So we need to make, we need to start with some pilot project or communities as an experiment, small communities, and we can implement this zero emission policy in that, and then we can slowly expand to the on a large scale into the cities. So there should be some model cities or model colonies, model societies where we can experiment with that, with the zero emission in the home domestic use and also for the transportation. And your question that how we can use the solar energy. Solar energy is, I think, greatest gift from God to us, especially a country like Pakistan. We have we are near equator. We are living, so we get solar energy on the direct, opposite to the European countries. They get at angle. The solar rays fall at an angle, but we get directly at straight. So and also we can get I think 50 degrees temperature, and 7 to 8 months in the month we have a solar energy available. So there's a one problem is that there are for example in the nights time when we don't have energy, so we need a storage. For that we need to work on, for example, some innovation, like some countries are using phase change materials, so during the daytime they store their solar energy into that phase change material, which liquefies using the absorbing the solar energy, and then during the night time they use this energy, and this phase change material becomes solidifies again. So this would compensate for the non availability of the solar during the night. And other thing is that, as I mentioned before, we can use solar energy to split the water and produce hydrogen, and this hydrogen could be used for the fuel cells, and fuel cell powered vehicles are very, very efficient. They can we don't have any like typically range anxiety as in the electric vehicles. So the people who have electric vehicles, they have to think before starting their journey how far they can go. So for fuel cell vehicles we don't have that problem. So obviously we can use solar energy in different ways. We can split water and produce hydrogen, and this hydrogen could be used either directly in the combustion engines or in the solar powered vehicles, and also obviously in the form of batteries also we can charge the batteries.
Okay. So, sir, do you believe that developing countries are ready for solar powered transportation systems?
Um, in the I think that we are in developing countries, there are in applicability, application side there's no problem. The problem is on the economic or limitations of the people or the countries to adopt the technology, because unfortunately at the moment this technology is a little bit expensive. For example, capital cost installation at the beginning, it cost a little bit high, although operational cost in the end it would give you a lot of advantage and a lot of benefit in terms of cost, but in the beginning you have to adopt. So there are limitations in that sense also. I think developing countries, the governments of the developing countries have to do some effort in this regard.
Okay. Sir, I think there are challenges, but the potential is also enormous.
Yeah, obviously, the people who can afford, they can. I think the private sector, bringing private sector into that, that would be great idea. For example, that would share the burden with the government, and these people also have this interest in terms of the future business and other things. So I think the government alone cannot do so. The big companies and the people, they should come together, and obviously, as I mentioned before, there's no question about that solar energy is the greatest gift from God. So this could be used, it's a free energy, it's all around. So we this it depends upon us that how we tap that energy. For that there are different things needs to be done, but obviously it's beneficial for us.
Okay, sir. So, what do you think that what challenges people may face for adopting these?
Yes, the biggest challenge, as I have mentioned, is for the developing countries is obviously affordability, and other challenges is as I mentioned, the at the moment is the solar panels um, as a or energy density, per unit area, the electric power produced is not very high. So wherever we need to apply solar, we need a lot of surface area. So there are new materials needs to be developed, uh, for example, which can produce more energy per unit area, so that we can have smaller solar panels that could produce large energy. And other thing is that, for example, on the government level, if government we get support from the banks to buy our normal vehicles, for example. So government should or bank should also support in extra some extra favor for to in terms of electric vehicles and electric infrastructure, for example solar panels. So the government should give some uh, easy loans to the people, so that everyone can afford, and
Yes.
they can return in installments on the in a little bit longer time. So then this would be affordable. So that is the best way, I think.
Absolutely, sir. So, sir, how do you think that how can innovation make solar EV charging more affordable and accessible?
Yes, I think research and innovation is a key thing. If you see over the years, a lot of things have improved. For example, if you talk about um, if I talk about the electric batteries, lithium ion batteries, uh, we need actually, there are two types of batteries, for example, high energy and high power. So, high energy batteries have thicker electrodes. For example, they are suitable for the domestic and portable application. But for electric cars, we need high power. For example, if we need to accelerate the car, we need a burst of power, in a short time or shorter interval. For that, we need thinner electrodes. So there are two different opposing factors, but obviously we need bring these two factors together. For that, we need a lot of research. As I mentioned, also that we need new lightweight materials which can produce per unit mass, which can produce more energy. For example, for that, this problem could be solved. And innovation in other in terms of solar panels also, I think over the years also there's a lot of improvements. As you can see that we have double coated panels also, which can produce more energy on the both sides. And there are
Right.
other materials also which are better than like 10 years before. They are producing more power. So this needs to be pushed further to so research and innovation obviously could play the critical role in that, and widespread adoption of this solar energy. How we can use on the different. We need to diversify this, on different levels, so that we can effectively use solar energy.
Okay, sir, I completely agree with you, and it's time to officially end this discussion. Thank you
Yes.
so much, sir, for your valuable time, insights, and sharing your expertise in this discussion.
Yeah, you are welcome. I really enjoyed this discussion. So I hope we can do this in the future also. Thank you so much.
Inshallah, sir. Inshallah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Allah
Hafiz.
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
So now, all our viewers, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you found this session informative and inspiring. Now it's time that bring us end of this episode. So this is your host Tasbihah Fazal signing off until next time. Stay tuned, stay connected, and keep evolving. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.